Okay, so people were asking for a bit of a studio walkthrough. The place is, as you can see, in some kind of state, because I've been working over here on this computer here that stores some of our backups, and because we had local love last night and I haven't really cleaned the place up. But anyway, let's kind of take a walk around. This is actually some shelves that we have some stuff covering so that you can't see the stuff on the shelves. This is where I DJ late at night. You can see there's not a whole lot of space here, but it's better than before. These are just cheap sheer curtains that people bought actually from our Amazon wish list. Behind the sheer curtains are, if I plug this in, some lights. You can kind of change what they do, pressing a button on them. There's also a remote for them. Here's a backdrop. This is just vinyl. You see this behind me all the time. It's just not that much bigger than where I sit. This is like where I sit or where Chip will sit for local love. You can see there's a few displays here. There's a tablet down there that we use for the soundboard. There's a tablet over here we use to control OBS. There's a little mixer here that we use for the just for the volumes on things. Like when I come back in and there's no sound from my microphone, it's because I didn't turn this one up. But it controls the mics, the remote, the volume for the DJ, stuff like that. Here's an old Pioneer mixer that we just kind of use as an A/B switcher so that I don't have to deal with things in a more complicated or annoying way when I switch over to being a DJ. This is just connected to those monitor speakers you can see over there, the KRK Rocket 5s. This is my mic, or the host's mic. This is a Shure MV7 with the cover of a 7B on it. If you get the MV7, consider getting the cover for the 7B. There's two webcams over here. The cheap one on the right is just for people on Video Ninja to see me, and then the one on the left is what you see on the show. Nothing fancy. Down here is a computer. This is a community bought the internals of this computer. As you can see, it could use a good little dust off. Let's walk around here. This is the Media Wench's home computer workstation / like the main co-host chair. If the Media Wench happens to be hosting and you see me co-hosting, this is where I'll be at. As you can see, there's the essentials. The essentials. There's just a Dell Precision workstation laptop with a couple displays attached to it. This is the co-host's mic. This is also a Shure MV7 with the SM7B cover on it. This is the black one. The other one is silver. There's a audio interface down here that actually connects to this computer so that we can run Discord on it, and it connects to the main interface over there at the main workstation, which I didn't show you. Here's the third station. As you can see, the microphone kind of got knocked off last night, but there's two mics over here. These also connect to the main system, and there's just a crappy touch screen here that people can use to monitor the chat. You can see the back of the interfaces here. That is a Focusrite Octopre, and over here is the back of a Focusrite 18i12. We run everything via wired, so there's a small switch here. There's a webcam for the person over here in the third chair. That's just a Logitech webcam. There's some speakers over here and a lighting controller. This lighting controller is connected to these lights. As you can see up here, we've got DMX controlled, like basically lights like you'd see in a club. The speakers are pointed at it actually because there is a microphone in there, and it does some stuff with the sound, like reacts to the sound. So like when I'm DJing or whatever, when you see the lights flashing, it's because this controller actually will react to the sound of coming out of the speakers. Over here, ignore this stuff. It's just I'm just working on something over here. You can see more lights back here and another banner. We're going to finish all this up. This is where the stage for the artist is going to be. There's two more little kind of club lights that are just sitting on the table here. We just kind of use them to fill out the lighting. Probably going to hang them up here somewhere and point them down at the area where the performers are going to be. Right here we have a disco ball. As you can see, it's still spinning from last night because the batteries are still they're still good, I guess. It said it only lasts 3 hours, but it lasted all night. You can see here, it's kind of hard to see because the big bright light there, but we have not one, but two of these spotlights for the disco ball. Those make it so you can see the disco ball. And I think that's it. I'm really happy with this new studio setup. It's been pretty great. And if anybody has any questions about it or whatever, you can hit us up, let us know. But it's, it is what it is, and we're still working on it. So people who wanted to see, now you kind of got to see. Okay, now this is where the real magic is. This is the software stack. I'm first going to show you kind of what I see when I'm streaming. Up right now is the screen. It's up and to my right, and it's got like readouts from the mixer and stuff. You can see that I can control it without the mouse because I have a MIDI controller, and like, well, now my voice is back. When I come back and there's no sound from my mic, it's because this is in this position. And I didn't turn the knob back on maybe after the music or whatever. But there's controls on here for the browser, for mix. That's with 3 X's. That's the application we use to play music. The DJ, you can turn that on and off here. The stage, once we get that set up, has its own channel here. The phone, it says phone in, but that's phone and Discord. Discord runs on another computer, but it's on a mixer channel here, so I can just mute it if somebody's being stupid. Because most of the people that join via Discord are in fact stupid. Let's take a look at the next screen. This is the screen right in front of me. It runs 2 things, and both of them are in full screen. This is the mix. This is the player we use. It basically works like this. You just bring up a song, and hit play. You can cue another song on the other side. Also has an auto DJ function. And this is the auto DJ is like what's running when I am like when the show's waiting to start or if we take an extended break. Also on this screen, of course, is the browser. Here is terrifying story list for the intellectual Dollar Tree, but this is where YouTube videos and whatnot come up from this screen. Then we have one more screen. This, as you can see, has you can see OBS here. You can see on the bottom left, this is it's a compressor basically. It's so I can kind of see what's going on with my remote guest. So I know if they're too loud, not loud enough or whatever, and I can turn them up, turn them down, whatever I need to do. This controls something called pulse audio. You can see it's recording here in 2 places. It's actually because Pulse is only recording in 2 places. It doesn't show things like OBS because OBS is not a Pulse application. This is for Video Ninja, and then this is for Butt here. This application is Butt. It's called Broadcast using this thing, and it's for IceCast. It connects to for audio only. And I'm going to go back to the big screen. I'll show you what's going on over here on the big screen because I only showed you the mixer. Up here, this is basically a big knob that lets me turn up the browser right here. By turning this limiter down, turning this like the limit down, it actually increases the volume of the browser because of something called makeup gain. You can see these are side chains here. This is so if I want to talk over either the browser or the music, I never really talk over the music. This is how it works. This is the way it works, and I just have it up here so I can easily bypass it. Turn it on or off. And then here is just some readouts for the compression and like the outputs. So we have the main compressor, the main limiter, and then stereo tools, which is it just sends out a mono signal to the computer that has Discord on it. Now behind all this stuff on this screen is something pretty amazing that probably people will not understand. So this is Ray Session. This is first thing this does, which is amazing, is I open a file. Like if I go new session, I'm not going to do it now because it'll break all the audio. Or if I go open session, I can go testing. That's the one we're using right now because we're still testing it. And it'll launch all of the applications. It'll launch the jack connections. It'll launch mix for the audio. It'll launch the jack mixer. It'll launch my side chains. It'll launch the other 2 CAF jack hosts that run the input dynamics, the output dynamics, but which is the app I showed you that broadcasts to IceCast, opens the Brave browser, opens OBS Studio, opens the volume control for Pulse Audio, opens JK Meter, which is an audio meter that I use sometimes, and it'll open Discord. And this is the spaghetti factory. This is why the show sounds so good in here. I'm not going to attempt to explain all this to you, It's just that this is why our show sounds good. There's like noise gates and compression, and it's just everything we need to make the show sound good. And it's in here, and you save it and you set it, and then all you have to do is launch the file, and it goes. No bullshit. The system used to be quite a bit more complicated, but now launching it's pretty easy. And that's kind of an overview of the software. I'm not really the best at like doing tutorials or whatever. I'd be really bad at explaining how all this works or how to do it. But I thought this would be interesting to add after I showed everybody what equipment is in the studio. So this wasn't a really great video, I don't think, but whatever.